But as far as the fight, I feel like Bud could beat him easy. How though?
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love boxing.
Who gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating.
New York, when Hamza fought Berlanga, and he doesn't look too small anymore. He's filled out a lot. Looked quite big.
Everyone thinks Canelo Alvarez is unbeatable, but wait till you hear why experts are saying Terence Crawford could be the one to shock the world. Experts believe Terence Crawford has the skills to defeat Canelo Alvarez. They point to his ring IQ, adaptability, and smart decision-making inside the ring. Stephen A. Smith says with full confidence that Crawford can beat Canelo. He respects Canelo's greatness but insists that Crawford has the right mindset and talent to win. According to him, if anyone can stop Canelo's power and dominance, it's Crawford.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
always prepared.
He's always ready. He's always
that.
prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's gonna knock him.
Analysts compare Errol Spence Jr. to Canelo Alvarez, saying both fight with similar pressure, grit, and technical skill. If Crawford dominated Spence, then many believe he can do the same to Canelo. Spence's footwork, defense, and body shots are close to what Canelo brings. Since Crawford already defeated a fighter with that style, experts say he has the tools and sharpness to deal with Canelo too.
31 wins by way of knockout. Is there a drastic difference in skill set and style between Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez? There's not. There's not. There's obvious differences, but is there a drastic difference? No. Errol Spence is flat-footed, aggressive, come forward, and a pressure fighter. Canelo Alvarez is aggressive, come forward, flat-footed, and a pressure fighter. Overall, their skill set is pretty much the same skill set. The difference is durability. For one, Canelo Alvarez has as great of a chin as there is in the sport of boxing historically, where we've seen Errol Spence hurt in the past, early in his career, and then you've seen him, buzzed by your Dana Ugas. But obviously, Errol Spence has suffered the horrific car accident, okay? Errol Spence suffered the 2 major eye injuries.
Shakur Stevenson laughs at the idea that weight is the deciding factor. He says Crawford's timing, precision, and all-around skills are more important than size. According to him, boxing isn't just about being bigger, it's about strategy and execution. Stevenson believes Crawford has faced enough styles to handle Canelo. In his view, Crawford can adjust to any opponent, and he's confident Bud has what it takes to beat Canelo.
I feel like Bud could beat him easy. How though?
What are your thoughts on Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez? Terence going up another 2 weight classes. He's skipping 60, going straight to 68, talking about what's going on.
I feel like he beat Canelo. He like one of the greatest resumes in boxing ever, just because of the fact that he's going up 2 divisions just to fight this guy, and this guy's bigger than him. Did you just crush Errol Spence, but you go out there and the way that he beats Canelo too. If he go out there and just dominate and make it an easy fight, honestly, I think that that's gonna be like one of the best resumes I ever seen. But as far as the fight, I feel like Bug beat him easy.
How though? Don't give me everything, just how is it?
For me, it's a blueprint already. Floyd was a lot smaller than Canelo when he fought him. You keep Canelo on the outside. I ain't gonna even say too much, but you keep him on the outside and make it easy.
Amir Khan also defends Crawford. He points out that Crawford's small, sharp punches and deadly body shots break down even the strongest fighters. He says critics underestimate how Crawford controls fights with movement and accuracy. Khan believes Crawford's body work and fight IQ will be key against Canelo, just like they were when he destroyed Errol Spence.
With both fighters, so yeah, I'm thinking of maybe going there. I've been asked to go there and obviously give my input on the fight before they go in the ring. And obviously I know both fighters. Canelo's a friend now after our fight we had, and also Crawford, I'd shared training camp with him as well. It's a good fight. Well, I'm not going to say too much.
Okay.
I'm going to save it till on the day of the fight.
Okay.
But look, it's going to be a mega fight. Honestly, it's hard to pick the winner. Yeah. But like I said, it's a close one.
I know you said you don't want to say too much, but when people talk about Crawford boxing on the outside and using his movement, almost making it boring in a sense, do you think he can do that with the added weight that gets put on and him boxing in that certain style? We haven't really seen him box like before. In terms of boxing on the outside and almost sort of that stick and movement type.
Talking about Crawford, yeah?
Crawford, yeah.
Look, Crawford's going to probably do the same thing that he knows best, which is box, be smart, slow movements, small steps. Only small steps he's taking. So I mean, look, and it's always worked for him. Every fight he's been in, we thought that the fight with Spence was going to be hard, and he made it look so easy. Now, we've never really seen him in a hard fight where we've seen him in trouble. So maybe this could be the fight that puts him in that trouble to see what he's going to be like when he's under pressure. Yeah. You know what I mean? We've never seen either fighter under pressure, like a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't say...
Maybe Golovkin for Canelo, I guess you could say.
Exactly, yeah, Golovkin, yeah. But other than that, I don't class the Mayweather fight a hard fight, because Mayweather just a runner, wasn't he?
Yeah. But, I guess Bivol had the size
Bivol had the size advantage, but this one, I think Canelo has the size advantage. But then again, I've always said Crawford puts on the weight well. If you look at size of him, you see his picture when he was like 185. He looked huge, bro. He looked jacked up and he looked strong at the weight as well.
Promoter Eddie Hearn admits he once thought Crawford couldn't beat Canelo. But after meeting him and seeing his confidence up close, he changed his mind. Hearn says Crawford's self-belief and determination can make a huge difference in a fight like this. While he still respects Canelo's power, Hearn now sees a clear path where Crawford could shock the world and win.
Are you still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you feel...
Of course, yeah. I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh, because I travelled with him to the fight, and but it's a 50-50 fight. I think gun to head, I'm probably picking Crawford right now. But I want Canelo to win. And he can win for sure. But Terence is going to make it really tricky and awkward for him, and I don't think he's going to like that kind of fight.
Former champion Andy Lee calls Crawford versus Canelo a dream fight for boxing. He says Crawford is stronger than people think, especially if he puts on more weight. Lee believes Canelo's size won't guarantee him victory. He thinks Crawford's speed, angles, and skill set can balance the fight and make it a true 50-50 matchup for the fans.
Like every good fight, no one really knows the skill and competitiveness and ring craft of Crawford, or you can say the same things about Canelo, but just he has that size. And but I see Crawford in New York when Hamza fought Berlanga, and he doesn't look too small anymore. He's filled out a lot. He looked quite big. It's a great fight. I think they're equally matched in skill, and it's going to be one of the best fights. It's going to, like, when you see how skillful both fighters are, the tricks they have, and how they fight. It should be one of the best fights of the last, I don't know how many years. It should be up there with the best fights we can remember.
Yeah. Does the weight putting on for Crawford?
Still, some analysts warn that Crawford is moving into dangerous territory. At Canelo's weight, the fighters are naturally bigger, stronger, and harder to hurt. Canelo has already beaten many world-class opponents at this level. That experience gives him a huge advantage that Crawford has never faced before.
This is what scares me going into this Terence Crawford fight. These are the guys Canelo's typically fighting. This is his last opponent, William Scull. William Scull is far from a great opponent. When we're talking about sheer size and strength, Canelo is just way more built and used to taking on larger guys and overpowering them. Look at William Scull. This guy is jacked. He's huge, man. And that makes me think, like, if Canelo has been taking punches from guys like this, I'm not saying William Scull in particular, but guys like William Scull, the size of William Scull, and he's been dropping them, stopping them, beating them around the ring, overpowering, over-muscling, just everything, physically demanding over them. That makes me think, man, Terence Crawford, I don't know what, you gonna have to come with some heat, dog.
Because of this, experts say Crawford must be perfect from start to finish. He can't afford mistakes. To win, he'll need flawless focus, smart adjustments, and top-level conditioning. Canelo's pressure and power can wear down opponents over time, so Crawford must prove he can take big shots and keep fighting back. Every round will be a test of his skills and heart. If Crawford wants to make history, he must bring discipline, resilience, and creativity into the biggest fight of his career.
This is huge news for boxing, UFC, and Netflix. Terence Crawford vs Canelo Alvarez will officially be on September the 13th on Netflix. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is, of course, the UFC, TKO, recently acquired their new strange boxing model with Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White promoting it. And this actually will be on Netflix. So for some context, if you don't know, the UFC are currently under negotiations with a new TV deal. And the rumours for a very long time were that of Netflix. But it doesn't look like they're going down that route anymore. Or at least it sounded like Netflix wanted a total package where they would get the major UFC fights and the major boxing fights as well. Or potentially they didn't even want the UFC fights and they just wanted a couple of these sort of events. Regardless, Dana White is officially the promoter for it, which I do believe is still bizarre. I still really think that's super bizarre. And the fact that they have quite opposing views in Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White, to be honest. Not in everything, but in how events are run. Dana White doesn't even like stadiums, first and foremost. Turki Al-Sheikh loves making as big of a splash as he possibly can. As fights go, for the casuals, this one is as good as it gets. It really is. Let me know what you think. As always, keep it casual.